Minister Fraser.
Thank you so much, Minister Algabra. Bonjour tout le monde. I'd like to begin by acknowledging joining you here from Treaty 9 territory, which is the traditional territory of the Ojibwe, Chippewa, Mushkegowuk, Algonquin, and Métis peoples. I'd like to start by just discussing a little bit of the importance of immigration to Canada. It's critically important for our country's economy. For those who may not be aware, nearly 100% of our recent labor force growth has been driven by immigration in recent years. When our immigration system is working well, our economy experiences long-term benefits, like tackling our demographic challenges and supporting the stable, reliable social programs that we've come to expect as Canadians. Just to put this into perspective, if we rewind the clock about 50 years, there were 7 workers for every retiree in Canada. Today, that number is closer to 3, and 20, 30 years from now on our current trajectory, that number may be closer to 2 if we don't continue to embrace immigration to grow Canada's population to correct this troubling demographic trend. Although Canada's leading population growth across the G7, we're still seeing an enormous surge in demand for skilled workers in particular. And our country has amongst the greatest quality of life that any nation in the world can offer. There are incredible opportunities here for anyone who works hard. We've got engaged citizens and communities who celebrate our multiculturalism and diversity and who work to support inclusion and make others feel welcome. For a lot of people, Canada is the top destination of choice for hundreds of thousands that come here from all over the world. Though we have a welcoming nature towards newcomers, our immigration system has faced unprecedented challenges and obstacles that have become larger and have compounded upon one another over the past few years. Nous sommes parvenus à ajuster nos activités pour nous adapter à la pandémie. Toutefois, nous avons mis à jour les technologies vieillissantes et nous avons dû faire face aux crises humanitaires successives en Afghanistan et en Ukraine qui nous ont contraints d'accorder la priorité à certaines demandes. Alors que nous traversions la pandémie, le nombre de demandes de visas de visiteurs, de permis d'études et de travail, des résidences permanentes et de citoyenneté a considérablement augmenté. Nous sommes confrontés à plusieurs défis en même temps pour soutenir notre économie, faciliter le regroupement familial et respecter nos engagements humanitaires à l'égard des personnes qui fuient la guerre et la pression. In the fall economic update, we took action to reduce our backlog and get workers to Canada, initially by committing to an $85 million investment to expand digital platforms and services, but also to increase staffing levels. In fact, just last week, I was able to announce that by the end of this fall, we will have added more than 1,250 new staff to increase our processing capacity at IRCC. Some of our new improvements are already increasing efficiency, with more coming to make processes more sustainable and efficient in the long term as well. Some of the investments, that we're working on have reduced wait times in certain critical areas. We have now come back to the pre-pandemic service standard in a couple key streams that people used to come to Canada. Perhaps most notably are the family reunification pathways for spouses and children, which is back to the 12-month standard now that we had pre-pandemic. Similarly, as a result of decisions that were taken to pause intake through the express entry system for economic migrants who come through this key federal streams, we are now back as of July 6th to a pre-pandemic service standard of 6 months that a person can expect to have their application completed in. Similarly, when it comes to permanent residence cards, we have also returned to the pre-pandemic service standard. En plus, nous sommes en bonne voie d'atteindre notre cible de 431 000 admissions de résidents permanents d'ici la fin de l'année. In fact, as of just this past week, we've now finalized more than 300,000 permanent resident applications so far this year and are more than on track to achieve our target of 431,000 new permanent residents this year, which of course will be the largest number of newcomers that have been resettled permanently in Canada in any given year in our history. In 2021, we've processed 31% more study permits compared to 2019, and we're on track to finalize even more applications in 2022 with almost 360,000 study permits finalized between January 1st and the end of July this year. We've been taking concrete steps to reduce some of these backlogs, which, to be clear, should be distinguished from the total number of cases in our inventory. These are the cases that we're talking about that are beyond the service standard that we have broadcasted. Despite the work, we know that the wait is too long, and in many cases, we need to address it and to return to the service standard that our clients, Canada's future students, workers, permanent residents, and citizens have come to expect. To support greater transparency in our effort, we're implementing solutions like online trackers that allow some permanent residents and citizenship applicants to view the status of their applications. We're going to be expanding the use of these trackers to give people a sense of where their files are at across our system as soon as those tools are ready. We're also now publishing monthly data on our website to track our progress on reducing the backlogs in the immigration system, including the number of applications that have been completed, the number in progress, and those that are overdue, to get back to the service standard that Canadians quite rightly expect. In order to support Canada's employers who need skilled workers to fill jobs, we're doing a number of things. We're making it easier for some workers who are already here working to continue working. For example, the extension of postgraduate work permits that we announced a number of weeks ago to make it easier for up to 93,000 workers in Canada who are educated in Canada to continue to stay and to work here just when they're needed to address the labor shortage. Similarly, the reason I'm in Northern Ontario is just recently we announced an expansion to a program that will bring workers to smaller communities and northern communities with an expansion to the rural and northern immigration pilot to help address the labor shortage in smaller communities and rural areas in northern Canada. Skilled newcomers, it's no question, enrich and help diversify Canadian communities and help recruit and retrain global talent in fields like healthcare, agriculture, transportation, and the skilled trades. As our work continues, we're going to continue to share information as in the coming weeks and months that will include additional measures that are going to help improve processing, reduce backlogs, and ensure our immigration system works for everyone. It's important that we remember immigration is about people. The measures that we're putting forward are going to make it easier and faster for families to be reunited, for workers to fill jobs in Canada, and to continue to support some of the world's most vulnerable. Thank you. Merci tout le monde. I'm now happy to open up the event for questions, unless our co-chairs in the room have further to add.
Parfait. On commence avec les questions. Donc, on nous a dit qu'on aurait 25